Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to War on the Sea, a new strategy and war game that looks at the South Pacific campaign in 1942, specifically around Guadalcanal. And in today's episode, number 5 in our series, we're going to get a look at some air attacks here right at the start with some B-17s getting involved in the action. We're going to tone down the submarine warfare a little bit. I start to pull my subs back in this, but also I added out a little bit of submarine stuff just to kind of focus on some more interesting and new stuff that we haven't shown too much in this series yet. But if you're looking for some B-17s doing some level bombing against enemy surface task forces, that's what we've got in store for you. So let's jump right back in, and hope you guys enjoy. B-17s in the night. B-17s in the night. All right. You guys are going to go after this heavy enemy cruiser or this one? They look somewhat fresh. I'm not sure if either of these were the damaged ones. All right, we're going to group you guys up into a formation. Okay. Your formation is going to attack this lead ship. I don't think I can tell them how to attack. I can't tell them to, like, skip bomb or anything like that. So I'm guessing they're going to level bomb. Let's try and manually lower their altitude to like 500, 300 feet. And then see if we fare any better. And then these guys are just going to kind of stay around. So they're just going to nav to over here. Until we get a better sense of how those initial attacks are going. I'll skip bomb a heavy cruiser if I want to. Don't you tell me what to do. You're not my mom. Alright, let's go. Why is this guy following waypoints? Alright, so they're in a straight line? Is that the right way to attack enemy targets with heavy bombers? I mean, they're only at 1,000 feet, too. Give me those open bomb bay doors. Why would you go in a straight line? Wouldn't you want a pattern that would be more likely to hit the target? Meanwhile, the enemy task force appears to be veering in all sorts of uncontrolled directions. I chose echelon right, but they're still sticking in, So these guys are in echelon right, but the lead formation is still in line abreast. They won't switch formation. Bombs away! bombs away. Why don't you show me how crappy those Norden bomb sites are? Oh, hits! Hits! Oh my god! Oh, it looks like they shot a 17 down. We really get hits? That really just happened? These guys already dropped their bombs? Oh, I just missed a whole bunch of near misses. Okay, so how about you guys attack then? I don't think we're gonna sink this guy. We did quite a bit of damage to him. He's pretty low in the water. We'll have that last formation of 17s hone in on the same target. 3 hits so far. You've been watching the left side? Yeah. We lost 1 B-17, it looks like. Alright, so these guys are coming in now. That seems like an awfully wide formation. What? Why are you guys so wide? Where are you anyway? You're way out here. Oh, we sank that heavy cruiser. Hell yeah. So switch your attack to 2. Why are they flying all the way out here, though? Why aren't they... Like, I told them to follow waypoints, but I never told them to go way out there. They fly with their bomb bay. Just... They've got to be glitched or something. I'm telling them to turn. Won't even let me manually turn these aircraft. Unless I had the wrong group selected. This guy's just flying. He won't turn. Well, that's annoying. At least we sank the one heavy cruiser. Yeah, lead Medal of Honor for sure. I don't think I can do anything with these guys. They're like... Their bomb bay doors are stuck open. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Wrong button. Yeah, it doesn't let me close the bomb bay doors. Oh, it is closing, I guess. So now I can turn them once I close the bomb bay doors. Whoa! Don't collide! Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump in here and cut to the end of this battle. We did have one formation of B-17s kind of glitch out. I think it was a bug in the game. I'm not sure if it's been patched or not since, but this last group of B-17s would not respond to orders and were kind of flying out there on their own. I haven't seen that any other time, so I think this is sort of an isolated issue. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump to the end of the battle. Okay, so this is the same surface group we've been dealing with, and that first heavy cruiser that had already taken 2 torpedoes, or 1 torpedo, was sunk by aerial bombs. There's 1 heavy cruiser, 2 light cruisers, and 2 destroyers left. The destroyers have moderate damage. We lost 1 B-17 and sank 13,000 tons of enemy ships. So I guess those guys will RTB with a job well done. All right, so that was where the last stream ended. However, with that being said, obviously we're only 10 minutes into this video. I don't want to end it just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the start of the next stream at this point. And what we're going to do is as part of the beginning of that stream, I did a little bit of a recap of the campaign to this point, and we also looked at losses and casualties and bases and things like that. And I think it'd be interesting because we haven't really looked at it in here anyway, in these episodes yet, to see like how many ships have we lost, how many of the Japanese lost, all of that kind of stuff. So we'll jump into that here real quick, and then we'll get going back, progressing further into the campaign. But first, let's take stock of where we're at. It starts on August 7th, so we're 7 days into the campaign. And so far, I'd say the war's going pretty well for us. If we take a look at the repair situation, we have a heavy cruiser, the Northampton, the Chester specifically, a Northampton class, that is currently 3 days away from being repaired. We have 3 Mahan-class destroyers currently in various stages of repair, and a cargo ship being repaired. In terms of the losses so far, we've lost 1 C-3 merchant, 1 Mahan-class destroyer, and 1 Tambor-class submarine. We lost that in our last stream. The enemy, on the other hand, has lost 2 submarines, 2 destroyers, and 2 heavy cruisers. So we're dealing a lot more punishment on the Japanese than they are on us so far. We also have an invasion task force en route to Guadalcanal. Task Force 7, which constitutes consists of 5 cargo ships carrying a mixture of supplies and 3,600 infantry, as well as 4 destroyers escorting the task force. Screening the task force up to the north is a surface task force of ours, which consists of the heavy cruisers Portland and Indianapolis, the light cruisers Atlanta and Juneau, and 4 destroyers, the Jenkins, La Vedia, the Fletcher, the Radford. So this is sort of our surface task force punch. We also have some aircraft based out of Renelli Island that we can use to screen the task forces. I think there's 10 F-4F Wildcats based out of there. And we just concluded a B-17 strike on an enemy cruiser task force. We had badly damaged a Japanese heavy cruiser, and we finished it off with level bombs from B-17s, of which we lost 1. Those are based out of New Hebrides, and those bombers are on their way back home. It is just about 9 o'clock in the game on August 14th. So the shipping is coming up here through the night. So I would imagine we're going to be relatively safe from enemy aircraft or enemy submarines using their patrol aircraft for a little bit of time at least until the next morning, by which time we should be coming real close to Guadalcanal and be almost ready to land on the island. If we went ahead and we formed a new task force here, and we went to the heavy cruisers of the, the Northampton class? Northampton says C, which means it's on the map. But where? Where is Northampton? That's confusing. So it's treating it like the cruiser returned to the fleet, but where? Do we see it in this list anywhere? I don't see it anywhere. Huh. The Northampton's not the one still repairing, right? It's the Chester. Northampton's already under your command. Great, but where is she? Was that a bug? You don't think that surface task force would stop a single Japanese heavy cruiser confit? I hope so. I hope it would. I also don't know, is there like a way that you can put ships into port? Because that seems strange. It doesn't seem like ships are in port. It seems like they're always on the map. Can I wish it would tell me where it is. Alright, in any event, I would love to have raced that heavy cruiser up to join these guys as it heads toward Guadalcanal, but for the moment I guess we won't. Let's go ahead and resume the battle. And go ahead and fast forward here. We'll probably... Oh. An enemy surface task force is running south here and has stumbled upon the Thresher and the Triton. So what does this task force consist of? It consists of 1 heavy cruiser, 2 light cruisers, and a destroyer. This is the force, I believe, that we just hit with our bombers. So we might be able to get into the act here, but we also... So actually, the Thresher and the Triton are Task Force 6. Task Force 5 is the Tambor, which I believe was already kind of badly damaged. I'm hoping... It looks like it's Task Force 5. I guess we have to begin either way. So let's go in here and see if we've got to try and escape. Comfit, I have 2 heavy cruisers with them. I'm not worried about the troop transports. They're screened by the heavy cruisers. All right, the Tambor, what do you have left? 6 torpedoes in the front, 4 in the rear. What about damage? No damage, so you're at least in good shape there. All right, we can see the enemy task force is off here on the right. Put our scope up. I really wish there was like a TDC or a way to actually plot your sub-attacks. I feel like there's no reason there shouldn't be. I mean, they could easily turn this game into Cold War's World War II if they wanted to. So I'm going to try and go after the lead enemy heavy vessel here, which I believe is another heavy cruiser. Right here. So if we go ahead and go to the recognition manual here. What did we say we thought this was? The Miyoko? She's got the rear-facing turret with the 2 in front, the middle one being superimposed. And then the 2 rear turrets with one of them superimposed. She's got this sort of funky funnel set up. And then the crane. Although the crane might be, I guess... The crane looks like it's in the wrong direction? Huh. The crane is pointed to the left. It should be pointed toward the rear. Do all the ships in the class have the same crane setup? You think it's the Takio class? Good call. That's what she is. She's making 25 knots. Timbre will straighten up. Ideally, I want to get closer within like 1,000 yards or something like that to have a chance to hit. We're going at like a 45-degree angle to this task force, but we're only making 7 knots. Commissar Vistu, thank you very much for the sub. 5 months now. Just the right speed for an old retired army guy? Well, I'm glad you like it. Sometimes I wonder if it's a little bit too much downtime and boredom in there, but it would be more interesting though. Like, again, I've got my periscope here, but if I had some kind of TDC to plot my strikes from, it would make things a lot more interesting. Maybe we should give them an active ping, my boys. We got a 56% fire control solution on the front. We're going to go with all 6 forward tubes. We're going to go with a 5-degree spread. But we're going to wait a little bit until we get a little bit closer. You can see here we're still, if we were to fire, we're still shooting way out ahead of these guys. 1 ping only, Captain Ramius. Are you insane? Now, if the enemy zigzagged or did anything like that, that would make things more challenging. But the lack of a TDC makes it kind of... I mean, if they did that, that would suck. I'll just say that. I'm not sure the Japanese are going to have any heavy cruisers left by the time we get our surface task forces down there. All right, we're 1,800 yards. Still closing. Maybe not. Are we still turning? It kind of looks like we're turning. We're going straight. Still just a 56% solution. I may need to turn the boat a little bit to the left. Just because I think... It's still way out ahead, although not quite as bad as it was before. This is going to be on a bit of an angle. You're calling it the cruisers the Atago? Is that one of the Taco classes? Yes, the game is available through Steam Bulldozer. Why is the solution not getting any better? Is there something I should be doing to make it better? I think it's about time to fire, right, boys? I don't like the solution being so low, but I mean, the angle, I'm not going to get a good... I'm turning a little bit back more to the right. He's going too fast. They're starting to gain headway on me. Let's fire. I've hit fire like 5 times. I think that'll be too far behind him. All right, make 150 feet. Right full rudder. We'll see how that spread works. You can see the fish are angling out there with their gyros. No way those fish hit. They're too far out. I don't know how to, like, I will say the first 2 times I used my subs, I got incredibly lucky to do so well. But hitting a moving target at 25 knots with no TDC, no, like, it's just dead reckoning is just a nightmare. One of the ships is, like, veered out way out. I don't know where he's going. So these guys are... I think those fish are going to be way behind him. Just a terrible angle that I took. I'm so bad. I don't think it hits this cruiser. I still think it's too far behind. No, the destroyer's too far off. If the fish had the spread had been in the other direction, like if the left side had been ahead in the path, then maybe we would have had a chance. But they all missed. That destroyer is way too far back. So glad we wasted a bunch more torpedoes to no purpose. I mean, at 25 knots, there's no way I'm catching these guys submerged. I don't even know if they noticed the torpedoes. That's the funny thing. Like, they just kind of sailed on their merry way like there was no big deal. Yeah, I'm not going to surface. I already lost one sub, guys. I'm not crazy. I don't want to lose another. We can take the next 2 minutes to observe the sheer beauty of the Japanese cruisers. By the way, they had weird designs with, like, one down, one up, one down, facing backwards. Don't pull the trigger at the wrong time, boys. You'll wipe out the bridge. Surface and take a Japanese task force on? Damn right. I mean, I'd fire on that rear destroyer, but I don't think I really have a chance. He's too far out there. He's also moving at, what, 25 knots? I don't know where this guy's going. 25 knots the other way. Yeah, the Japanese ships did have a tendency to be top heavy, right? I can't compress time either because I'm too close. Well, they had to stay within the treaty limits, right, Sean Mack? So yeah, I mean, they sacrificed stability and armor for firepower and speed, but... Okay, fine, fair enough, Neuhauser. They had to look like they stayed within the treaty limits. The Japanese definitely kind of abused that. Okay. Alright. Maybe if they keep going through this strait, though, they'll collide with Task Force 6. If I can hit them with 2 subs with multiple spreads, that could be useful. Meanwhile, this sub has to head back and rearm. So go ahead and fast forward again. Apparently there's Japanese patrol craft way over here. Isn't the Trout heading back to base? Why is she just sitting out there? Same for the Tuna. She's out of ammo also. Oh, it's 7 a.m. So Japanese float planes are up. Whoa. Hey, cruisers, don't let those guys get up there all by themselves. Alright, so Japanese float planes going after our subs here. I can ignore that. They're not an actual threat to the subs. You know, all these guys have fuel on them, right? Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and send these guys to Ranelli. They're still a little too far away. Okay. Aren't we sending another cargo ship out to Port Moresby? I feel like all the courses on these ships got forgotten after I saved. Or at least a lot of them did. Speed up, heavy cruisers. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you did enjoy. We kind of had 2 tales of this episode. At the beginning, the first 10, 15 minutes or so, we had that B-17 attack and the enemy cruisers, which went pretty well. And then we had a largely ineffectual submarine attack on my part. But hope you guys enjoyed the episode. The next episode is going to be really interesting. We're going to have our first campaign surface naval engagement, and we'll see how that goes. And you'll also get to see the wonders of this UI, which, like, as much as I really love elements about this game, especially the surface combat, because I think that is where this game shines the most, I also think that the UI gets in its way, and it takes a little bit of time for you, the player, and what I mean by time is several hours, I think, to really get the hang of using surface naval assets. And I think this next battle is going to be an example of someone who doesn't fully understand or doesn't know all the buttons to click. And so you can easily, when you're not paying very close attention to what you're clicking, create havoc. But I'll leave you with that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and step out, and I'll pick it up next time with our first major naval surface engagement in War on the Sea. That concludes episode number 6. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.